Over the years, there have been many different types of broadcasting. There has been terrestrial broadcasting, cable, a method currently very popular in the US, and satellite broadcasting. Of course, today, satellite broadcasting is a fact of life. It's very common, or was a couple of years ago. But there has been, back in the 80s, it was relatively technology. This is a topic on one of those channels. Most of those were very short-lived because they got very low viewership, which is very reasonable. Today we look at a channel that was pan-European, not just in geographical reach, but in terms of its programming. A broadcaster created by 5 European broadcasters known across Europe, and it died after a little over a year. This is Europa Television. Before we could go to Europa, we have to start further back to the first television experiment, Eurocom. The channel initially broadcast for about between 4 to 10 hours a week, and it was also notable for being the first European television experiment. However, it wasn't very successful, and it was closed shortly afterwards. So let's get on to Europa, shall we?
Programmamakers bij Europa TV steken de hand in eigen boezem en erkennen dat er veel...
As you can see, its logo is rather unusual. It involves a 3-sided triangle in 3 dimensions, and the board saying Europa. That was a sort of startup island, and unusually for a broadcaster, the logo was constantly in motion. But that's not its only venture. As you can see, there was also a bird. I don't know what the bird is supposed to mean, but if any ideas, leave them in the comments. As you can see, the items are actually pretty good. It's certainly very good CGI for 1985. Albeit, if you compare it to the likes of Channel 4's islands, or hell, even Sky's islands at the time, okay, it's not as impressive, but bear in mind that the technology wouldn't have really been as good in European countries as it would have been in Britain or the US, or wherever in Britain. Now, let's go forward to language barrier. One thing you may have noticed in the clip I showed you was that the announcer spoke in a foreign language. Now this would be a bit of a problem as I spoke to many countries. To get around this issue, they put English subtitles over it, and also dubbed programs in different languages. This sort of technique was very common in the dubbing of TV shows, anime and foreign shows and the like. However, it was a bit more expensive, although it was largely better than reading subtitles. Now let's go to geographical reach. The channel was broadcast in up to 15 countries, where it was watched by up to 4.5 million people. Rather hefty amount, but it wasn't very high in terms of the fact that there are, I think, over 1 billion people in Europe, which is a very small amount, even by then standards. Because of the amount of money it costs to run a satellite channel, it ran into debt. And so, unable to pay this debt, the NOS stopped submitting Europa television programs to its satellites on the 20th of November, thereby making it impossible for Europa television to continue broadcasting. Their final broadcast was comprised of text and an announcer saying that they failed to continue broadcasting. I'm going to play it right now.
Sindsdien hebben wij dagelijks uitzendingen verzorgd. In 4 verschillende talen hebben wij het Europese publiek kennis laten nemen van de Europese cultuur door middel van een zo breed mogelijke programmering. We betreuren ten zeerste dat dit unieke project zo weinig tijd heeft gekregen om haar bestaan te kunnen rechtvaardigen.
It is probably one of the saddest closed-outs in television history. Unlike other broadcasters who mention the good times about the channel in their last broadcast, here they fully mention they failed to continue as a channel. And they don't even thank the viewers for watching. Kind of everything that Southern and Television Wales and West did for their last broadcast. Except here, they realized that, and said it all.
In this proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face.
And there was the end of Europa.